Me very well?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
What about now?
Perfect. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All
Yeah,
good?
very well.
Awesome. All right, we will get started here shortly. We have about 20 seconds.
Yeah. I'm a little bit nervous, but
Yeah, a little bit. It's a good thing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Fireside chat. Joining us today, we have Gonzales Gomez, who is the Senior Manager of International Game Development at Major League Baseball. Um, Thank you for joining us, Henry. We appreciate it. So today, kind of one of the main themes we want to talk about is growing the game of baseball internationally. Henry is down in the Dominican Republic, helping grow the game of baseball. So I guess the first thing kind of we want to talk about is kind of about your career, Henry, how you got to where you are, what you've done. So yeah, let's start kind of where it all began.
thank you, Hensel. This is it's a pleasure for me being here. It's a very good opportunity to share our experience that we have here in Dominican Republic and my experience my experience to how I become working with Major League Baseball and different jobs that I have had in the past. But it's really nice to be here with you. Just to start with my career, as I told you before, I played professional 20-something years ago. I signed a contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates to play in the minor league circuit here in the Dominican Republic. We have here the Dominican Summer League, which is the first step of the players when they signed here in the Dominican Republic, and sometimes they brought players from Venezuela, Curacao, other countries, and they had to to play during like 3 or 4 months here in Dominican Republic, and then they're going to the rookie. When I signed at that time, we didn't have the academics that we have right now, that the players have right now. We have a small house with like 35 players living together. That was a very good experience for me at that time. But at the same time, the difference between the players are receiving right now is huge. I signed a contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I played for only 2 years. I didn't travel to the United States. I only played in the Dominican Summer League. I got released after 2 years playing with the Pirates. But the good thing for me at that time was that I was studying at the university. I was trying to get a bachelor degree. I continued studying while I was playing. But and then that allowed me to get another job after I finished my baseball career, per se, playing. And then my dream was, after I got released, is like to get a job in baseball and then spend maybe more than 10 years trying to get involved in baseball. It wasn't that easy for me, but at the same time, that during this time I learned many like administration and stuff that I'm using right now in the office that helped me to develop different skills that I didn't have at that time. During this time, I was in a mission for the Catholic Church. I also was working with the Clinton Foundation for 7 years in HIV/AIDS area. This is very important for me to say that because during this time I learned a lot of skills. I developed a lot of skills that, as I said before, that I have used during this time, 8 years that I have been working with Major League Baseball. And finally, I got an internship in 2012 with Major League Baseball, coordinating a program here in Dominican Republic. And but before that, I spent like a year scouting by myself. When the Clinton Foundation closed the operation here in Dominican Republic, and then I spent a year working, scouting by myself, try to get more information about the baseball, since I'm out of the game during like more than 8 years. And then I learned a lot of things. I was scouting by myself, reading books, scouting, how to scout, what to look for the players. watching game, going to the Winter League games here in Dominican Republic, and trying to evaluate those players and compare with the amateur players. The good thing that was by myself, and during this time, I learned a lot. When I got the opportunity to have an interview with Major League Baseball, it was easier for me to understand and to explain what I will do here in the office. And then I had the opportunity from at that time was Joel Araujo was my supervisor, and then I have more than 9 years working here.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, obviously you've had an interesting path. I know you said there's kind of a big difference between when you signed and with players who sign now. What would you say is the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is the communication between now we have more things, more opportunity to continue development. The players have the academy that they have right now are different between, the academy, the houses where we used to live. I think that this is a big change. The drills, the development path, the development strategies for the players are better right now. Now they have more technology. At that time, we didn't have this technology that they have right now. The players are receiving classes at the academies. They can continue their high school here in DR. And also, there are many things that they have right now that we didn't have in the past. Just to give you an example, the accommodation was totally different. Can you imagine 36 players living together in a house with only six restrooms, something like this? But now they have beautiful academy, like a hotel 5 stars.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool, kind of how, it's grown down in the Dominican Republic and how things have changed like that. Glad that, everything's kind of, they're accommodating, all of the technology, communications has, done nothing but improved, which is obviously great to see. So kind of, moving on, I think a lot of us don't understand the popularity necessarily of baseball in the Dominican Republic. So, from your perspective, how big is baseball in the Dominican Republic?
Baseball is it's part of the culture in the Dominican Republic. Just to give you an example, in my case, I started playing baseball in my backyard with my family. Sometimes I didn't have money. I didn't have money to buy. My parents didn't have money to buy a baseball. Sometimes I build a baseball from a sock, and then I put something inside. I take a little trip, and then I try to build a bat and something like this. I was having fun with anything that I can throw. I used to play baseball, me and my friends in my neighborhood, and that is big. When you see a boy that is born, the first thing that the people think here in Dominican Republic that I hope that this kid will be a baseball professional player. It's because baseball, like my case and my experience that my different friends is baseball give us the opportunity to help our families, to support our family, to change the life of many families. It's like my case. When I signed my signing bonus, I helped my 3 sisters to continue studying. My parents, that helped to feed my family, to support. There's a lot of pressure there because in the neighborhood, everybody would like that, you are the person, you are the person that is going to help us in the neighborhood. But at the same time, you receive a lot of love and a lot of support from your neighbors and everybody around you. Here, you can see the kids practicing behind a tree and in the street, any space, no matter what little the space is. If you have the opportunity to play baseball, to swing the ball, to throw the ball, you can see the kids walking around. If you have something there, they try to hit the ball. They are talking to you. It's it's part of the ADN. It's something that you have in the blood. But it's amazing. If you came down here, you will see many kids having fun with anything. Like I try to play baseball and to enjoy the game. Baseball is huge here. You can't believe how impacting is the baseball for the kids here in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you said basically right off the bat is that baseball is the culture in the Dominican Republic, and kind of how it gives you opportunities, support. There's really a community aspect when it comes to baseball down in the DR. So I just have a quick question for you. Kind of growing up, did you have who was your biggest hero growing up? In terms of baseball.
Oh, this is a very good question. But when I was Ken Griffey Jr. was the one. Ken Griffey Jr. was the guy that I was thinking about him, the way that he was playing baseball at that time. I wasn't lefty, but I tried to emulate him the way that he was, like having fun. And then it's like a no pressure, like enjoy the game. I remember me in my neighborhood, we didn't have access because I grew up in a very poor town in Dominican Republic, which is most of the time all the players that become to Dominican Republic. In my case, for example, I didn't have access to internet. I don't have access to cable. I mean, TV, no telephone. Some electricity was only maybe 2 hours, 3 hours per day at that time. But we had the chance to see like a Ken Griffey Jr. for us was a dream come true. Just like to see a video, to see something, the way that he was playing baseball, the way that he was trying to enjoy the game. You remember that he was, maybe you were too young to see that, but you can see that the way that he was almost smiling and enjoying the game, for me was impactful. The way that he was enjoying the life, and that helped my character.
Yeah, I feel like he's been, a hero, someone, who a lot of us look up to. So I definitely love that answer. He obviously, brought a lot of popularity to the game as well. So I know we've touched on it, at least a little bit about how baseball can kind of give, the opportunity to support, families and kind of your loved ones. So can you maybe give us some more insight into how baseball changes lives for those in the Dominican Republic?
Oh, sometimes those kids, when we were playing baseball, I remember that when I was playing baseball in my town, just to give you an example, sometimes we didn't have water to drink at the field. There is many friends that they need to come back to the house and try to help their parents to sell something, like some food, something small things. And then when they come back, that money was used to eat. Sometimes they had to wait until they can sell everything in order to get the money to buy food for them. Just to give you an example, one of the players from my town was Anderson Hernandez. He played in the majors. He was one of my friends, and he didn't have access to everyday food, but in the field he was selling some kind of food that his mother was doing in the morning, and then with that money they can come back, they can sell, and then with that money they can provide money to buy the food for the day. That was really impactful, the way that he was living in a small house. I mean, they was building a very dramatic way. Just to give an example, here we have hurricane almost every year. Sometimes they hit very hard, and this kind of houses that we had in the past before we signed was really vulnerable to those hurricane and those atmospheric situation that we have at the time. After those guys signed, the first thing that you think is to remodel it, to build the house of your parents, and to be safer, to be safe, and to be more comfortable at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's some really eye-opening stuff. It's something a lot of us don't think about, and it's really interesting, to hear your thoughts on this. So can you maybe touch a little bit more on the importance of family in the Dominican Republic and kind of this community aspect that it brings?
Yeah, this is a beautiful country. One of the things that we have is that we are very united. It's the way that I remember when I was growing up in my neighborhood, I can see like many of my like friends giving support to me, to other players. Just to give you an example, when Pedro Martinez was pitching with Boston Red Sox, just to give you an example, everybody was watching Pedro Martinez. The country was like a stop, literally. The country was like everybody was watching in different areas and on TV. Everybody got together, some food together. It's like enjoying how Pedro Martinez was participating in the major league at that time. And since we are united, we support each other very well. And this is something that I love from this country. It's like sometimes if you need something, I can give you, and we support each other. Yeah, we can see like we were playing at that time, and right now the players, like there is a competition because you know that you are my worksmate. We would like to have the same dream, but at the same time we were like trying to potential to maximize and doing synergy between us. Family is very important. Right now that we are doing a different project is like try to support those families and trying to use the baseball as a vehicle to impact those families in order to have better citizens. One of the things that I learned from baseball is like to be resilient. Baseball is a hard game. We learned from that is like you need to continue fighting the game. You have to continue enjoying the life, but at the same time you are going to have like bad innings, like, and you have to continue like being positive in order to win the game.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of us can definitely see, this community aspect of those, from the DR, just thinking of those, that are in the major leagues that were born and raised there. We see like before games, after games, they're always interacting with each other. So it's definitely, I feel like, kind of evident, how this, it's such a tight knit community, even though you may not know each other or what, it's really evident, to at least to me, as a baseball fan, that how important it is, and how everyone supports each other. So it was really cool to hear you, kind of mention that. And then
just to give you an example of this, it's like I have like a friends that had the opportunity to go to the States and play there, the rookie in the minor league circuit. And when they come back, they always have something for us. It's like, no, because they knew that how difficult it is to get equipments here. Sometimes they were asked for other worksmates in the States that have more opportunity to like compare with us. And then, hey, can you give me this glove? Because I have a friend there that maybe he needed this glove. For sure. And then sometimes it's like when they come back here with gift for us and to help us to get better player, because equipment is expensive, especially when you don't have like the basic. It's worse because you need to buy food and everything. Our parents, at that time, especially at that time, and now is like the same thing. But you can see how those players in minor league, how they can like support the new generation that is behind them, in order to help them to get signed or to help them to get better. And they go to the community, and when they are practicing there, they are like cheering baseball drills. They are cheering like development strategies in order for those kids that are getting better and trying to get signed.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned equipment. That was actually my next question. So maybe you can talk a little bit about how equipment has changed from when you were a player to now, and kind of touch on maybe some of the fields. So yeah, I mean, just kind of how different is the equipment now versus when you were playing?
Yeah, when I was playing, as there were many like less players. I mean, the world was the country was in another level, like in terms of economy. The interaction with the United States was less than now. I think that now they have more opportunity to get more equipments. I think there is a lot of mission that came down here with equipments and support. The baseball, the big leaguers, also they bring glove. Those players from Major League Baseball, they help the kids here. Now they have more opportunity to get like a very good glove, spike or bat, anything. I remember when I was playing at that time, I remember that we have a bat that was broke, and we tied him. That I would tie the bat and trying to hit like this. And sometimes we were playing with only one ball, and when there is a home run, we had to wait until we find it, and then the ball come back to continue the game. Right now, we have more baseballs. We have more opportunity. We have more players, and since we have more players here in the minor league circuit in the United States, we have more access to better equipment and better opportunity for the kids. Compared with my generation, was totally different. There is no way to compare the way that we were receiving all the equipments at that time. Here, it's like in my case, and maybe you know this word. We most of the time, in my case, I grew up in a town that is called Bate. It's a tiny word that means backyard, but in Bate, they live Haitian and Dominican living together. That we work with the sugar and cane plantation. Like my grandfather used to work in the sugar plantation, and it's a very poor population. Most of the time, the players that you are seeing there playing so hard belonging from those neighborhood, and the field is at that time was worse than now. I remember that I was playing shortstop most of the time, my whole life, my whole childhood, and when I was practicing in my field, in my neighborhood, I remember the first time that I went to in the MLB complex here in Dominican Republic. That was like being in heaven. The way that I was reading the ground balls, that when they approach the ground balls and everything, because it was easier to read the direction of the ball, because the field was really nice compared with the field that I was practicing and all my friends at that time. Mm-hmm. It's different. The difference between like the fields, the equipments, and everything, the access to drills, the access to information. Now you have the cell phone, and you would like to see like an explanation from Ken Griffin Jr. about his swing. You have more the internet connection that help a lot to the kids to have access to those drills, to those information that we didn't have in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you mentioned, kind of this resilience and passion that a lot of kids in the DR have for baseball. And I know you work, kind of closely with RBI Baseball. So could you give us some insights into, what you do with that and how that works?
I'm sorry, I didn't. It was a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. So can you give us some insights into, what you do with RBI Baseball and kind of how that works?
The RBI Baseball here?
Yes.
Yeah, the RBI is like it's an answer for the community, because maybe I'm part of 96% of the players that signed that didn't have the opportunity to play in the Major League Baseball. It's hard when you got released. It's really hard. But I remember I was talking to my wife last night, because it was February 25 that I signed in the 90s. And then I never forget that day, but I never forget the day that it was released. That it's really hard. But what we are trying to do is like to help the families in order to like no everybody is going to play in the majors, and then we need to continue like studying. It is something. The first thing that we are doing here in Dominican Republic with the RBI is like to promote education, to promote the combination between baseball and education. This is the best combination that you can have in order to become big leaguers, not only in baseball. Like we have a phrase that is very famous here, that is like a big leaguer, citizen big leaguer, outside of the field, in the field, in any space. You can be big leaguer at the university. You can as a doctor, as an engineer, professor, whatever you decide to do, like doing in a high level. That means that the thing that we are doing with the RBI here in Dominican Republic is like to help the family to understand how important is the education and how important is to play a sport like baseball that can give you like resilience, that you learn how to like face the really like really hard situation that everybody's going to have in life. But it's like compare the baseball with our life. It's like when I say, for example, enjoy the game, enjoy your life. It's like this is the philosophy. Okay, today I have a bad day, but tomorrow is another game. Tomorrow is another game. Today we lost the game today. Tomorrow we are going to have the experience that we had today in order to win or the game, the tomorrow's game. This is something that we are trying to implement here in Dominican Republic. Is trying to use the baseball, the passion, the culture that we have for baseball in order to impact life. At the end of the day, if you play the majors, you have like you will end maybe when you get in the 40 years old. You have a life after baseball, and then if you are big leaguer outside the field, you will enjoy your money and you will enjoy the opportunity that you had to play there. If you didn't play, like was my case, and then you had the opportunity to chat to face the situation in a very positive way, as baseball show us.
Mm-hmm. That's great, yeah. And I feel like an overwhelming theme, that you've talked about is, the importance of baseball. So my last question for you would be kind of looking towards the future. What do you think the future of baseball looks like in the Dominican Republic?
I think we are going to continue like more and more players are coming, and you can see like Fernando Tatis Jr.'s right now. It's like you have more big leaguers, and you have Juan Soto. You have those young guys that are playing right now. It's like you can see the future there, that there are more players that are coming in the minor league circuit. You will see in the next couple of years players that with this kind of condition, with this kind of determination, and you see the way that they are like approaching everything is different. It's a new generation. They can handle different situations. They can speak better they can speak better English. They are really prepared to enjoy the game and to have fun. And this is the most important thing for the kids, is like have fun, enjoying the game. And you can see Fernando Tatis is the best example of this.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Henry, for joining us. We can't thank you enough. It was a really interesting conversation that we had talking about the importance of baseball in Dominican. So once again, I'd just like to give you a big thank you, and another thank you to all those attending. Our next session will begin at 1:00. It will be our Unleash the Opportunity panel. So yes, I'd just like to give you a big thank you, Henry, for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me. If anybody's like would like to work on baseball, one of the things is that you need to continue working hard, studying hard. There is a lot of opportunity to work on baseball and to have fun in baseball, in different positions that we have in baseball. Not only playing baseball is the only thing that you can enjoy the game. In my case, like I'm enjoying the game as MLB employees. There's a lot of opportunities for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Hopefully I'll see you soon. And I just have one more thing. It appears that when the attendees exit, it'll take you to our fireside chat with Wayne Randazzo, we had some technical difficulties with him. So if you're interested in that, I think it should go straight to that once you exit. So thank you very much, Henry. We'll take care and we'll see you soon.
You're welcome. Bye.